not so much of more like a okay, you do, I follow, you know what I mean. I don't think that actually is the way to run the business. So so that is the short introduction. For those people who don't know me or have not heard about me before, my name is Bobby. I'm actually 18 years in the business. So for these 18 years, 17 years I'm actually in Prognex. So here's a short video about myself to introduce my involvement with the company. There you go. When I started this business, I have never expect myself to be a team leader. So I just want to be a salesperson, just want to get listings and sell. But nevertheless, over the journey, I get good support by the management, and I found that's the calling in me to actually lead people. To receive this award as the highest recognition award by Prognex, I'm indeed very privileged. And also, I hope this award will serve as an inspiration to many of my people to look forward to receive it as well in the future. Well, when I first started this business, it was just mainly on sales. Okay, I've never expect myself that I can do well in team building. But of course, over the years, I am very blessed and to be guided by the company management as well. And I found a calling in me that I can build people. So over the years, I contribute my time, my energy, effort in various parts for the company. Like number one, I serve the bootcamp. Okay, I'm the one who actually work hand in hand together with Calvin and Kelly, Gary to actually set up the bootcamp, and we have helped a lot of people to transform their life, to give them clear directions on how the business should be run. But we realized that when the mindset is correct, eventually the business will do well. The second part of things we have done is actually to provide a lot of trainings for the company. So over the years, together under the LMA platform, I have done a lot of sharings on leadership and sales technique, which helps a lot of people to have a clearer direction and to have simple methods and strategies and to help them to actually do their sales. The third thing I have done is actually to help the company to build the manpower and strength. That's team building. Now, I truly enjoy this segment because each time when I see people come on board and when they learned what they could have leveraged for the company, I see transformation in them. Last and not least, I was appointed as a Chief IC to lead the project team for Prognex. We have done very well, and people on the ground are very excited and motivated for more projects ahead for everyone. So with that, I'd like to thank my team who believe in me, and continuously we will do well. Well, product spirit to me is that we build people before the business. This is something I really look forward. I really hope to contribute more for the company, and I will believe the company direction and what they plan for us is the best for us. And to look forward, I want to build the millennial group. Now, I know that a lot of people are coming on board right here, and this group of people, they have very different visions. I'm very blessed that. Alright, so that's a short introduction about me. It was in 2019 when I got my Meritus Award. So in the company level, I think they have only about 6 or 7 Meritus Award. It's actually the highest recognition award with a full contribution with the company in all areas and aspects. So my background includes of running project teams, and I'm a chief IC for 6 projects. A lot are highly involved in the EC and some of the core central region as well. Alright, so that's the introduction. Any question you want to ask me before I start? Okay, I'm by default I'm a cheerful guy. I kind of like I don't like to be too serious in what I do. So many of my customers, I think they kind of enjoy that moment with me. So when I work with them, through fun, laughter, we talk about really serious stuff. So that, if you ask me, that's actually part of my strength or what and how I run the business for the past 18 years. Right. No questions? Alright, no questions. In that case, I will just go ahead and start. So what are we going to cover today? Okay, today we're going to cover this big program called the 21 days. More like a 21 days, a step-by-step guide to do well in real estate. Okay, so as I mentioned, once you come on board in the business, if you have a system in you, that helps you quite a fair bit. So having a system actually requires another thing is called a high discipline. So I think sometimes there are okay, let me share my, this is better. All right, okay, so this is an example, okay, of a 21 days program. Now for some of you guys might now be a little bit confused. Hey Bob, this one looks a bit complicated. Then I say like no worries, okay, no worries. So I will slowly guide you through. Okay, I'll guide you through. So what is the 21 days program? It is something when a new agent joins the industry, we actually want them to do this thing first. But that's again, I want to explain it. It doesn't work for all walks of life, because there are some people you are unable to commit this I would say this plan schedule for you. Okay, so what I have designed for you is something that is on high learning base. Okay, meaning say I am a true believer of there's no way you can learn the whole entire business. You need to do something like, you learn, you apply a little bit, you learn, you apply a little bit. So this is actually the framework. So if you have this framework, you will be able to do well. So I think one of the very common mistake that some people would like to do is that they like to say this: Bob, you have to go for all the trainings before even I start the business. Now, if I can turn back time again, 18 years ago, I will tell you that I really do not wish to go through so many trainings. Now, if I can really go back time again, so what is the one thing, if I can go back time, I will focus on and put a lot of effort and emphasis? It's actually this thing called CRM. Now, okay, let me just put some feedback. Okay, yeah, because it's for me when I speak, it's a bit too quiet. It sounds quite uneasy for me, like talking to myself. So Gerald, I kind of like bring down the background music a little, something to keep me motivated lah. If not, it's like a quiet room, I talk to myself, I don't feel easy also. All right, thank you. Okay, so back to here. So CRM is the one thing that if I can ever start the business again, I will put a lot of effort in it as well. Okay, so CRM, when we go back, if I would go back into the 21 days program, this is how it works. Week 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so week 1 himself, 7 days. Now always remember, in the first 21 days you must plan for off day. That's very important. So like for me, I will plan for a Sunday. Now as a start, I always tell my learners, you need to have an off day. Now one of the very common mistake is you kind of work 24/7 and you lose your soul into the business, and you neglect a lot of other things. For those people who are married or who have a family, now it's not advisable for you to really put everything down into real estate, and then you lose the work-life balance. Now once you lose that, you realize that you might not enjoy the business anymore. So is it possible? Or sometimes you might hear people saying things like, hey, you just started the business, therefore you need to chiong. I always believe that if you prepare yourself well, there are other options that you can work on it. Okay, so on the first day, okay, 1st to 7th day, if you take a look right here, every of my day got this thing called the CRM. CRM is called the Customer Relationship Management. Okay, so I really emphasize, as long as you start the business, CRM is the number one thing in your mind. Now, if you lose your CRM, you lose the momentum, you lose connecting with your customer, whatever you learn, whatever you do, whatever you build over the years, you'll go down to the drain. Okay, now, can you guys help me? 57 of you guys, who agree with me, customer is everything in our business? Now, if you agree with me, customer is everything in our business, if you agree, can you just type clients? Right. I need to know the level of engagement is actually very important. The level of engagement is necessary, especially now due to the pandemic. Not many people actually would meet you in person as well, so they are very careful. Therefore, online engagement is critical. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. So clients is everything. So I go back into CRM. So what happened in Prognex? The minute when you join us, okay, we got this thing called the PA apps. This is called the PA apps. Now, PA apps has a lot of function. So only to touch on the CRM, it is somewhere here. So it allows you to come here and start to key in information about your clients. So everything about the clients, from the name to display name to date of birth, etc., whether is it a landlord, a tenant, mailing address, to your best knowledge, try to fill this up. Now this is very important to have your CRM in place, in track. Now why CRM is very important in our platform is because there will be a time you will actually, like example, you do a roadshow, you do a door knocking, you do a telemarketing, you are having lunch and someone sitting beside you, and you realize that, hey, this person has an intention. Real estate is very different from other business in sales, right? If the pitch is good, people can afford, right? I think people tend to just buy immediately. Like if I have a good pitch to, like, I don't know, sell for power bank, if you like it, $29.90, it's easy to buy. But in real estate, in my opinion, it's not that easy, because real estate requires a lot more. You know, what does real estate requires more? It requires actually more time, effort. Okay, real estate, I explain. Now, real estate business, if somebody wants to buy something, it is not as easy, because you need to know their time involvement, money involvement, time involvement, money involvement, CPF involvement, mortgage involvement, some husband and wife, some have to school. So there are many other factors when you talk about real estate sales. So it is not something like, oh, you come in, I got this pitch, you follow, then people buy, and you make a lot of money. So I just want to emphasize a lot on here. The reason is because I'm not going to deny, in our trade sometimes we are being stereotyped. Not in a very nice way, but as a game, there are a lot of good agents in the market. I've seen a lot. There are really a lot, and they are very professional in what they're doing. But I just want you guys to stay away from the concept that, you know, like it's very easy to make money in real estate. Okay, but if given the right mindset to serve the right priority to your customer, you realize that you get a lot of good referrals. All right, so just remember, real estate, it is not something you can sell easy. Therefore, if you prospect, you will have one client. So let's say now the one client comes in. Okay, this is what I call a lead client. There's a lead. So what happened to the lead? You need to actually monitor them. So I like to explain in a way like clients are like a glass of water, but they only buy from you. Okay, only when what? The glass is full. When you pour enough information, knowledge, you go through the journey with them, then they realize that I'm ready to buy through you. Now this is actually how real estate function. Okay, so if I would quote what is the formula of real estate, is your ability, okay, to manage your customer, knowing the need and wants in all sectors. Okay, is that's how I derive, or how I will conceptualize what is called real estate. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. So going back to here, so once we have all your CRM inside here, so you can actually import them from the phone book, or you can type in one by one. Now remember, it's actually the discipline. Now the discipline of making sure that your CRM is in place using our PA apps is important, because we got many other functions. Okay, there are functions for us to do artwork. There are functions for us to do EDMs, electronic direct mailers, which on the later part I'll cover. So imagine these are all your leads. Okay, so you can use a lot of function like EDMs. Okay, you can do artwork. Artwork means pictures. Okay, or maybe a very nice invitation to a new launch, or maybe there are some scripts, invitation, consumer seminar, we call CES. So once you have actually set up all this, you have to push these assets to somewhere. So this is where you push into your CRM. Now, a lot of time when I meet people, they say that, Bob, I want to learn digital marketing. They say, I want to learn digital marketing. But when I actually ask them, so after you learn digital marketing, if somebody will call you, how are you going to manage them? So many of them are not prepared. You know, they are like more like, I am not so sure, I need to go for lessons. But what they don't look into is, where are you going to keep this lead? Where are you going to keep them? Because if there is a way to manage the lead, there is a way you can actually follow up with them with a given system. All right, so again, I mentioned if I can go back to where I first started the business, I put a lot of attention into my CRM. So this is my first piece of advice for each and every one. So in my 21 days, every day you see me some involvement in CRM, putting people inside, talking to people, connecting with people, follow up with people. This, in my opinion, is the root of the business. Now, next. You can see CRM, the next thing we see is called the PA apps. Now, PA apps and also VOM in short is actually two very important tools that we in Prognex or all the Prognexes we use a lot. So from here, now imagine you got all your CRM, your database is ready. Now you want to send information to them. The next thing is how are you going to do it? So I'm going to show you an example, okay, on how you can do all this thing. So in artwork, okay, on the first day, you need to start to play with what we provide. Let's say the VOM. Okay. So the first thing we're going to work on is actually called templates. So imagine you have got 50 clientele. You want to send something to them, go straight to the template, go straight into the project template. And let's say there's a new launch coming out. Royal Hallmark recently, it's a new launch. So from there, click on the teaser. You have this right away. 50 clients. Right away, you're going to use this and send to them. That's it. Use this and send to them. So in the past, when we do have a system like this, what happened was you have to do the design, you have to do the artwork, you have to craft, to learn how to use PowerPoint or maybe Photoshop or Illustrator. So now with all these things, it is actually made easily for you. It's about you taking action and knowing which area are you targeting. So the minute you have the concept, you have the proper business plan, all this thing comes really easy. Okay, so that's the one I showed you earlier on. That was the Arden. So I'll give you another example. Sorry, that was Royal Hallmark. Let's take a look at the Arden. So you get something else. So there are actually other templates that you should study. Really on the first day, you need to know all these things already. So I would highly recommend you to really play around with it, understand what they provide. So what kind of content is inside. You need to spend time. Something like that as a rookie, if you want to spend time, you have to go through how to use it, internalize, easily take you half a day. Okay, but the minute you have this, you know, hey, now I have the artwork. Okay, now I have the artwork. So with the artwork, if you have the database, is it true? Even though you may not really know the business that well, you can start to connect with people, sending information to people with your face there. Okay, who will do that? Meaning say, maybe you're still new in the business, you have your 50 database, but yet you start sending things to people. You just want to connect and see what happened. Who is willing? The word is called willing to do that. If you are willing, type I am willing. Okay, let's try. Who is willing? Right, good, continue. All right, I'm willing. That's the way. Okay. So if you are willing to do that, well, I'm putting a big challenge with you guys, because hey guys, we don't even know. So what's going to happen? Would that be a question that people will be asking you? Bob, after that, what happened? What if they ask me a question? How do I find information? What if I say the wrong thing? No, you guys will have this mind block where I'm not going to deny. Okay, this is the part where on the second day, you have to really learn what is called jumpstarts. So on the second day, I really recommend you guys to start to explore, okay, the VO. Jumpstart is an online training. So Jumpstart talks about the whole Prognex direction. So every year, 1 year, twice, okay, Mr. Ismail and Kelvin will give a direction over the company. So there were a lot of content on Jumpstart. So I'm going to show you an example how exactly Jumpstart looks like, so you all have an idea. Okay, am I too fast? If I'm too fast, please let me know. All good, thank you. No, okay, very good, thank you. Okay, so I mentioned on the second day already, and now I am, what is this? Okay, I know why. This is my second seminar for the day. It's a long day for me. All right. So once you remember, you have your CRM, you have your artwork, you are familiar with it, you know what is it all about, you know the which segment and how to draw, you are ready to shoot. Pop, 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 pop. But you need to learn something, right? I know you are worried. So that's the part you go into the VO ad. The second thing, and from the VO, you go into training and videos, and all the training video is right here. Okay, so training videos are what we archive after we finish a session. So recently there are 2 jumpstart and 1 cooling measures. It talks about the whole come, let me try mega training if it's here. Yeah, can you see this one? Quantum leap. These are the ones that you actually need to know what happened. So once you actually click on it, you watch, it even comes with the slides as well. So what are the things we talk about? It's a 2 hours training sharing. So it talks about like, let me try I will see you through 2 hours, don't worry. So it talks about the direction of the company, what we believe in, what are the updates, what are the tools, how do we improve our tools using Magic Touch, or what we call the PA apps. Then from there we finish, we talk about very important things, data, information, directions, strategies.
That's why I say that.
Okay, so it's very important for you to go through this. It's very important. So not only on us in the company level, we don't only give you that archive, we give you the notes itself. So jumpstart is the next thing. I always tell people, after you have done with your CRM, you done with your artwork, you need to go through the jumpstart. And my advice here is don't scan through the thing, kind of like internalize, because jumpstart allows you to give you sufficient content to talk to people, because we talk about sentiments, we talk about directions, we talk about the movement in HDB private, we talk about price index. So these are the things we talk about. Okay, so if you know this, once people talk to you, it's very easy for you to continue a conversation with them, even you're new. Now imagine you don't have all these things, you'll be struggling, and you'll be, hey, where are the trading? Then you will be going in rounds and circles, and you will have problems with that. Okay, so the second thing is actually jumpstart. I highly recommend that these are the things that we should be working on, right? Now, so after the jumpstart, we have the next thing will be more on the PA apps. So PA apps, the part I split into 2 days for you. Now don't try to learn everything one shot. So the reason why I want to break down is today you learn PA apps, tomorrow you learn VOM, because if you learned and you don't apply and internalize, you don't remember. So I've seen a lot of people trying to clutter everything, learn everything one shot, but when you don't apply bits and pieces, for some reason you wouldn't know how to apply. So that's the reason why I staggered them. So the next thing after that will be PA apps. And PA apps, there is one thing I want you to learn. Okay, just now I teach you the artwork, right? The artwork. The next thing you need to learn is how do you actually extract. This one is very important. Website. You're going to pull out website so you can send to your database. So imagine you're on the 3rd day. So you are collecting database, you have sent artwork, now send a website to them. So how does the website looks? It looks something like this. Where's my mouse? Hey mouse. Okay, here you go. So basically it's the part we call .com. So when you click on .com itself, you can go to website. You can, in minutes, you can generate a website something like this. This is Tenaflin. It tells you everything about the developments, and even on top, it runs like a proper microsite. It gives you the floor plan, the side plan, the gallery, the price, the fire sales, the discount unit. They are all here, including if there's video pre-recorded. This is the latest website updated by the company. All you need to do, run this and send to a customer. So that is the part. How do you actually send to your customer? You can't be sending blindly. So that's the part. Like normally for Tenaflin, we'll work basing on, hey, Tenaflin is actually a TOP property soon, meaning say they should be getting their keys by this year. So if are you looking for something which can give you immediate rental returns comparing to those which is BUC, being building under constructions, we'll be keen to explore something which is ready. Now, if you know of customer who's buying property, give them an options that they can actually buy things which is ready. You know what I mean? It's ready. So that is the part you can start to do. Example, Teniflim, or many other landing pages that you want to find. Now, Propnex as the largest agency in Singapore, we have the highest inventory in Singapore. Meaning, say all the developers, they would want to consider to work with us. So with that, that explains why we have a lot of information. Okay, so if you agree as much as I do, data is knowledge and knowledge is power. So let's say I'm going to do an example, a live example. So let's say now I want to run a microsite, for example, River Close Residence. All I need to do is to click on here, okay, and click active or activate. That's it. That's it. That's all we need to do. We just wait. So after that, it will pop up somewhere right here, and it becomes a microsite for you to send to your customer. Something like this in the past, it will cost us, example, $300, but now you can just generate multiple microsite for free. Okay, now the next question I'm going to ask, who feels that this microsite will help you to save a lot of problems? Now all you need to do, know the product you want, go to your 50 database and send and talk to them. Who feels that the microsite is going to be very useful for you and you foresee yourself using that quite a fair bit? If you have, type me. Okay, good. Continue. Wow, good job. Okay, very good. Now I want you guys to continue to do that. So not only now you have the artwork, now we have the microsite. And microsite is not the only thing, because that is only for one project. But what if I would tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, stand by, don't fall off your chair. What if I tell you this website itself also allows you to generate something called your personal website. So what is called a personal website? It means if you go in, you can generate this. The one you see on top is actually my CEA number. So everything about all the projects you have in Propnex, they are all here. So you can send this to your customer. If your customer registered, they go into your database. Then from there, they can search here. They can search all the new properties. That's it. Now, everything is here with information, with full information that now, once they surf in this website, they are with you. Okay? So this is actually the highlight of the website, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we are continue trying to improve more of this, and there will be more updates coming up soon, because in Propnex we have a very strong IT team, and the company itself spends a lot of money to actually what you call that, they spend a lot of money to improve the standards of the IT. And in fact, I can't tell you a lot more. There are many other upgrades which will happen on the second half of this year. So okay, I just want to help you guys to understand. So some people might tell me this, Bob, wow, you guys are so IT ready, but you know something, if that case, does it mean that if I go and join anyone is the same? If I join anyone is the same? So this is the part I'll tell you. In this business, there's something I'd like to share with you. It is called the 99-1 concept. Now 99-1 concept is something over the years when I coach, I realized that this concept is very important. Now with this concept, you can do well in real estate, but this is still a concept I use this to educate the fundamental. All right, so 99-1, the meaning is to do well in the business, 90% is your effort, your goal, your desire, what you wish to achieve. It is in you. This is you. All right, 9%, it is the mentor you're about to join. Now this mentor will give you directions. Okay, it will give you vision, it will give you like maybe teamwork or activities. The mentor is the one who guide you. So what is this 1%? Okay, this is what I call the principle. So what is called the principle? Because sometimes when we run the business, there are certain decisions which we need to make. Okay, however, not everybody agree with certain things we do. So as much as we can advocate, hey guys, this is the right way to do, but sometimes, so to some people, they just refuse to go through the right way. So what we do, we will encourage, okay, that this should be the right way. You should not go away from this, because we are what, guided by the CEA, the Council of Estate Agency. Okay, but there are just agents sometimes that either they overlook or they don't agree on that. They have another way to run their business. So this 1%, I like to say during my recruitment and coaching, it is the way, the principle you want to run the business. So normally, okay, if the mentor is alpha, you end up to be alpha. If your mentor is bravo, you end up to be bravo, because in this business it's very common that people actually follow the upline. So I just want to share this 991, because remember, once you join the business, you are your own boss. Okay, you are your own boss. Nobody is there to take a full responsibility over you. And the thing about in our industry, sometimes you might hear people say, I promise you, you join, I promise you to make how much. Anybody who promise you to make how much, I can guarantee you is not going to work. Because in this business, if you want to do well, is your promise towards who? To do well in the business is a promise towards yourself. Now, this is the only thing, okay, when it comes to mindset. If you have a promise to yourself that I'm going to put a strong 90% in the business, I will follow my leaders for the direction, and I will run in the principle I believe or what I'm more comfortable with. If you follow this, you can do well. Okay, please pardon me, I'm not just focusing a lot onto, hey, what is the 21-day schedule? Because the schedule is useless if you don't have a proper and frame mindset. Because in sales, who normally fail are those people who don't have a correct mindset and a routine. Having a routine without the mindset, it doesn't help you to drive through the whole thing. So that's the reason why I promote a fair bit of 99.1. Okay, so with that, let me go back into this here. Okay, so from here again, CRM, sorry, I think there are some typos right here. So from here again, so on the 5th day himself, from here, I want you guys to focus into this thing called the PPS. So what is PPS? Okay, PPS is called Power Project Sharing. So how do you assess PPS? Okay, let me help you guys. So remember this part, you now have to go to Power Project Sharing. Now, Power Project Sharing is actually a segments where we talk about, we teach you a knowledge, or we give you a topic, like here, this guy Nick Ong, okay, one of our very I think he's a very experienced salesperson. So he talks about the cooling measures. So after the cooling measures of the ending part, normally we will talk about one product. So Power Project Sharing, if you can and have the ability to go through all these things, let's say you can go through 7 of them. So in summary, you would have learned 7 products. So in our business, okay, rather than only, okay, I have a customer, I want to serve them. I just want to serve them. What you want, I find for you. Let me do calculation for you. There's another way to run the business, is that when you know what is best for them. So top producers normally know what they want to sell. But rookies normally will tell me this, Bob, there are so many products. Oh my goodness, I'm so lost. Okay, so that really have to go back to the principle I mentioned. Remember, the minute you start the business, you need to make decision. So you have to, for using your resources or where you stay or basing on your network, you have to decide which area works well for you. So you have to make a decision. The biggest pain I ever coached people is they never make decision. They always throw the decision on me. Boss, you say, I follow. Bob, you are more experienced. Now let me tell you, you and I and we and they, we are all different and unique in our own way. So really start to see value in yourself and understand what's your strength. But if you have a good mentor, they will be able to guide you through. Okay, that's very important. All right, so back to here, Power Project Sharing. And this is all the archive. So what happened is, once you join the company itself, you will be put into a chat group. So we have this chat group. Hold on. Okay, so just let me check first.
Okay, chat group. Come, where is my name of the chat group? New line. Okay, so once you actually join the company, you will be put in a broadcast, and the broadcast actually allows you to receive information like this. So what you receive, okay, so something I am going to do very soon is a consumer seminar on the 3rd of March. So something like this, when you receive, you would capture the copywriting, you capture the artwork, and what do? After you capture my copywriting, you capture my artwork, what do? Can somebody try? You receive, you start to receive a lot of information. Every time you receive, whoa, my goodness, so many activity. So you have all the artwork, you have all the copywriting. What do you do next? Imagine now you're already in the business. Correct, Jason, you blast to the clients. So now you may understand what is the reason why I advocate like crazy the importance of having your CRM. Because if you don't have a CRM, all these things are irrelevant to you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how to emphasize that as much, but you need to have your CRM. But CRM has a severe mind block to most people. Unfortunately, this is not the topic I'll cover today. But for those people who have no mind block with CRM, or after my sharing with you, you realize that, hey, Bobby, you're right. There are so many things I can send to my customer, discount, discount on the certain projects, some fire sales. I think I want my customer to know all these things. So Jason, when you send all these things to your customer, Jason, your customer will find you valuable. They find you that you're different from the rest because you make your customer smart. Now, it's very important to make our customer smart. Now, who agree with me? Making our customer smart is important. For those who only agree with me, if you feel to make our customer smart is important, type in important. Those who don't agree, don't type, okay? This one is a trick question. Important? To make our customer start is important. Okay, good. I explain to you why to make our customers smart is very important. Okay, that's the reason. Now, this is actually the reason why it's important to actually make our customers smart. Ready? Okay, there you go. Now, most of our customers, right, generally, they say I want to buy things. So they want to buy, they don't mind. But more of them are actually, this is called the comfort zone. Very comfortable, they bought a house, they are very easy, chill, don't move. As I mentioned, if you want to buy and sell a property, it's not that easy. A lot of processes, a lot of timing, a lot of money shifting, selling their crypto, selling their stocks and shares, many other factors. So with this comfort zone, but many of them have the aspiration. They say, something, I also want to grow. How I wish I can get my landed. How I wish they have aspiration. But in between, because of the comfort aspiration, they have this thing called the fear. The fear of what? What if I move and something goes wrong? In a HDB mortgage, it could be 1,200. But if you move into a condo, it can be 3,500. How am I going to manage that amount? How am I going to manage that mortgage, which is going to give me some pressure? Or can my wife support? So these are all the questions which are real. So therefore, this thing starts to come in the fear zone. And from there, they start to have lack of confidence. They find excuse not to meet you. Or they receive information, but they are not talking to you. So these are real. However, the only way for them to continue the journey with you, if they go through a learning process with you. Meaning say, they are fearful of what? I am fearful of buying because the mortgage is going to be high. No worries. Let me share certain things with you. Take a look at this. Do you realize that it's not that bad after all? You start to go through this with them. I'm thinking that property are really expensive. Start sending that information, and over time they realize that actually what I used to think expensive, for so many things you have sent me, it doesn't seem that expensive after all. Like one example, property heating, a 1-bedroom today easily in the market, brand new, could be $1 million. But $1 million used to buy a 3 and 4 bedroom. So for some people who they are not familiar with the market, when you tell them, hey, now 1 2 bedroom is about 1.4 million, they will flip off their chair. But once you send information to them again and again over time, they realize that, hey, that's the new trend and that's the new market. So this is very important to grow together with your customer. Now, if you don't grow together with your customer, there's no relationship. So when there's no relationship, you realize that, hey, your customer is not growing with you anymore and you're not talking. All right. So therefore, it's very important to learn with your customer, and that's how I capture most of my customer, and they always want to work with me. Okay, this is very important. Of course, since I'm here on this slide, I'll just share some bonus. Having a bad cough. So I just want to share some bonus with you guys. So generally when I talk to my customer, what exactly do I talk about? This is not meant for today, but I think the flow is there. So when I talk to my customer, normally after they buy something, so they either hold it for 5 years or 3 years. 5 years, that means MOP for HDB. 3 years, they clear the SSD. So normally I'll tell them if they have options. They can do a decouple, they can do a renting program, meaning say after you own it, you move out, you rent out, then you collect rental. Number 3, sell and upgrade. Number 4, downgrade and retire. So in my experience, normally you fall after these 4 category. Now if you have the ability to talk to your customer and a customer fall within this range and you know how to manage them, if you can do that, you will fall under this category. Now this category is actually a research done that why people buy from you. You will do this. It's called you provide solutions for them. Now if you can provide solutions for people, they follow you. If not, it will always be all agents are the same. Worse off, some people will talk about, oh yeah, agent, I heard I buy from you got discount. Okay, I mean it is on the article. If you do a search, there are people who talks about when you buy through agent using agent's commission and discount. But we don't need really for those people. If you are a buyer right here, now honestly, really what we need to know to serve you to the best, to make sure you get a good product, it is really intensive, and it's not every week we get to close something. So please understand us. Now coming back, for those people who are about to be property agent, if you can solve a problem for them, you can build their dreams, meaning say you help them to fulfill certain things they can never thought of. This is the where they will buy from you. Okay, so it's not about that script, it's not about that formula, it's not about this. No, it's actually not. Real estate is a people business. Real estate, we sell home. Okay, we sell home. Okay, we don't sell house. I hope you understand the meaning. We sell homes, not house, because if you do that, people can feel the big difference. Homes accommodates a family. All right. Sorry, too quiet. Okay, just a little bit music for me. All right, good. So from there, I cover 1 week. Now in this 1 week, the first week itself, you will be going through all these things, okay, again and again. And once you get familiar, when you follow this correctly with your good CRM, people will start to inquire you questions. So, and of course, when you have questions, some of them in the training they are covered, but what if they are not covered? This is the part where you have to go back to your mentor. All right. So now let's do this part 2. Next thing, on the second week himself, after you take a break, I highly recommend you guys start to do your calculations. Now calculation, oh my goodness, calculation, how sounds so scary, right? But be no fear, because Prognex is here. So from here himself again, in our PA apps, so this is PA apps. We got this called the calculator. PA calculator. So when I click on it, you get to see all the pre-programmed what we used to do in the past manually. They are all now on IT. All now on IT, including if you talk to somebody about this thing, what we call saving plans. Now what is called saving plans? I'm going to make this just a summary. If you put your money in property and you serve the mortgage for 5 years, how much will you make? That is the concept about saving plans. All right. Now the next thing we can talk about will be maybe investment timeline. Now today, if you choose to invest, what is the timeline? How long should you shift the funds? What is your mortgage? What is progressive payment? Now everything is designed for you. Now the big question now, again, people will ask me, Bob, wow, looks very scary. So what do we need to do? So we go back into here, the online trading. Because it's the second week, you should be very familiar with your view right now. So from here, come to this Prognex Business 2 tags. Voila, they are all here. So you can choose, like example, stamp duty calculation, and from that you click, you watch. So while watching this, you make sure you bring your iPad with you side by side. So all you need to do is to go through the motions. You can start to learn. Now, once you start to learn, you will have obstacles. There will be terms or there will be things that you may not understand. Do not hesitate to call you or call the mentor, because mentor are there for the reasons, okay? For the mentor you have chosen, who are there with you, where they know all these things, they will guide you through, all right? So with this, the online trading plus this, with a mentor, you should be able to do well, all right? So that is the second week where we talk about calculation. Okay, so this is the part we follow by, we go on the e-learning. Now, do you realize that every day I got CRM? Every day we have to revisit the CRM over and over again. Okay, so from here, oh my God, I'm dying. Ooh, this is actually product. Sorry, son. Don't know who touched my writing. Okay. Okay. Now, on the earlier part, we talked about this part, PPS, Power Project Sharing. Power Project Sharing is the one where people pitch about the product. Now, on the second week, you need to learn where to find the product. Okay, so this is the part where we comes in again. We go straight into our PA apps. We go into this part. Where? Where's my mouse? There's a mouse. Here. So you go to project. So once you go to project, click on the project. So an example. So maybe during the Power Project Sharing, I chanced by this product called the height. So from here, same thing, the height. On the third week, you need to start to play with all these things. So now you know the height. First thing, we'll click on the height. You get to see, wow, the kind of promotions that they are giving. Okay, so from here itself, I don't know whether got buyer or not. The commission is indicated inside also. So we have all that full framework. So, but as an agent himself, when you want to reach out to customer, what is very important is you have to go to this place called the Best Buy. So what is so powerful about this? And this is so powerful, it actually dominates the industry. Okay, when in a button, in the click of the button, the AI, the artificial intelligence, they captured all the cheapest unit and put it into one Excel for you. No, I call this a PDF. Everything is right here. So when I serve my customer, sometimes I say, Mr. Lim, how are you? So they say, Bob, you know something, I have a budget of maybe 1.2 million. So what I do is I do this. Okay, fine. Now just before I carry on, just to share with you, we are the biggest agency in Singapore. In another word, we have Hive inventory. So with that, we have information and data which will be very useful for you. For what you're seeing right here is called the PA apps. Come, let's jump into action. So you mentioned about your price is about 1.2 million. Take a look. All right, so this is 1.2 million. So let me make maybe let's do it in the range of 1.2 to 1.3 million. Okay, let's do a search. Now these are all the properties at between 1.2 to 1.3 million. But this is not the magic. Now I'm going to put on top right here. There's this button. If I click on, it actually helps me to compound. Okay, whatever we search, basing on price, the cheapest, PSF, the cheapest, size from the smallest, and size from the largest. This is the summary of what is available in the market. All right. So now imagine if you are my buyers. If you are my buyers, and I can show you things like this. How do you feel? Come, let's try. Type in the comment chat group. If you are my customer, me as a rookie, I'm able to show things like that, yet I know what I'm talking about. What is your impression about me? Best. best. Irene, pretty impressive. Must pretty then impressive, correct lah, Irene? Okay, bravo, thank you, bravo. Okay, these are all to the credit of the company. So the thing is now we actually know all these things, and when yes, exactly, the word is confident. But here's the thing, it's only if you follow my 21 days program correctly with discipline and mentorship. Now, actually in our business, it's really not so difficult. It's not difficult. I'll show you a case study later. I got the permission from one of our millionaires. She did $1 million last year. She is a brand new agent, meaning say she's only in the business for 1 year and she made $1 million. Who would like to hear the story? How did this new agent make $1 million? Who would like to hear the story? Beep, beep. But again, under my education, remember, money is not the only reason why you join the trade. Okay, since in this platform I call the shot, money is not the only reason, but I'll share with you guys how did she make $1 million. Alright, so come back to here first. So with here, we're going to go back into this. So by here, you have to learn all the products. But what I'm showing you is only searching the cheapest deal. But in our system, it also allows us to do many other things. Like example, we can compare a few of them. And from there, there's really something I like. Okay, so let's say Avenue South. In our business, where we sell a new launch, the good thing about us is you do not need to really learn the product 100% in full scale, because it's not possible to learn every single thing. So under those where I coach, okay, normally I tell them you learn 50% is good enough. But if you want to learn 100%, you can become a tagger. So taggers are the one who know the product very well. So the concept is like this to run the business. The concept is in this manner. So today, let's say you are the agent. Okay, so you are the agent. You bring in a buyer. So your buyer wants to buy. And from there, you move into a show flat. And this show flat, there's another person called a tagger. So all you need to do, this one, bring this person to this person and let the person do the selling. So what is your job scope? Your job scope is here. So what exactly is here? Meaning say you are in charge to help them to do what? Number one, selection, calculation, confident, PR, follow-up. So your job is here and allow them to do the pitching. So with that, if you control or manage them well here with a lot of value, what is called values, that they see that talking to you is different. You're not somebody who just bring me and you know nothing about the industry, the market, or the product. You know quite a fair bit, but you bring me to a lot of projects, and each of them has something called a tagger. Your job is here. This is your job. Okay, you need to do this. Now there's something wrong about our industry with this system. What do? They do this. They bring the buyer here. They don't do this. They throw everything to the tagger. They let the tagger do everything, and they just come here. The agent look at the tagger and say this: I don't know anything. Don't ever fall or get yourself caught in this situation. Now, because this is where the buyer will start to lose confidence in you. But we see a lot of this who say, I don't know anything, just bring to a tagger. So this is the wrong mindset. This is also the start of all the complaints, because the misrepresentation will come in. That's where your customer start to lose trust in you and your network start to dilute. People talks about you if you don't do well. This is how network function and how it works. So please, for those who have not joined the industry, do not just bring people here and say you don't know anything. You cannot. Remember 99.1, you are responsible over the business. Your mentor guides you, and how you want to run the business is your call. So I advise, be professional, stay ethical, stay confident, and that will help you to do very well in the business for very long. Okay, so that's really important. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna come back to here. So we talk about the products finish. Okay, so that is actually for the second week. So from there always you go to the third week. Now the third week itself, you see every day also got CRM, right? You'll hear me nag and nag CRM, nag. I will always nag on the CRM because in my opinion, if you don't have CRM, I don't know what to talk about. I'm not going to spend my time to talk to you about your training. I wish I not spend my time to talk to you about your repeating struggle. The word is called repeating struggle. It's okay to have struggle. So we have struggles, we learn, we understand, we try, we make mistake, we fall back again. It's okay. Repeating struggle means, hey, you need to do prospecting. Yeah, I know, but you know I got no time. 1 month later, I haven't started prospecting. 2 months later, prospecting is kind of tough for me. 3 months later, is there any other method? This is called recurring or repeating struggles. So if you keep coming back on repeating struggles, you see yourself, you don't have an improvement. Okay, so therefore your mentor should be able to guide you to make sure that hey, you're on this routine which is not going to help you. They have to push you out from this routine. If not, as self-employed, this is where you get stuck and you can get sucked into the dark hole or the black hole forever. And it's not easy to come out. By then, you will have the wrong mindset of the business. Once you have the wrong mindset of the business, you realize that things are not as easy as before. Alright, you start to be very negative. You start to work with people who are negative also. You mix with people who are negative, and positive people, high energy people will stay away from you. They will, because this is exactly what I'll tell them. Some of my agents, they are high energy, they are motivated. I say, are you mixing with all the low energy people? Yes, move away from them, because in this business you look after yourself, the mentor guides you. Okay, good. So let's go on to the third week. We talk about this thing called the magic touch. So I'm going to do a fast recall. On the first week, you will kind of play tool system, the PA apps, and also the VOM, which is the virtual office. You will have the jump start to give you the knowledge. Then from there, you have your every day will be on your CRM. You start to do your calculation, you go into your e-learning, and on the second day, you start to touch on the product. Use PA apps to apply what you learned the day before, which is the PPS. So these two is connected. But because of 14 days you have been working for clients, you have your artwork, you have your website and your landing pages, microsite. So with that, you're all ready to shoot. You can do a lot of things. The last thing I'm going to impart you today is actually called the magic touch. Now, magic touch is something that you can design. Either we can call a PDF and artwork. No, it's a PDF or it is a microsite, which allows you to send your customer towards what you want to do. So how do you actually do that? Basically, number one, coming back to here, you are now 14 days ready and you follow the routine very well. By now you are very familiar with this. So from there you go into this thing called magic touch. You click on it, you create on top. So let's say now I want to create this project called Pullman. Okay, I want to send to my customer called Pullman. So I do create, and then once it's done, I go to projects. Their options are they are seller, for seller, for buyer, or for project. I choose project and I choose on template B. And from here, I will choose the project I want to work on. Pullman, click. Bobby, are you sure that's what you want? Of course, that's what I want. I say yes. Voila. New project, Pullman Residences, the cheapest unit, the big units. These are all the Pullman artwork. They are all ready for you to send to your customer. Okay, already. But I'm not going to stop here, because the part about how powerful Pronex apps is, I'm going to go this place called Add Favorite. I like to add my awards. Maybe I want to add in some authority, but don't worry guys, if you don't have an award yet, it does not matter. There are many other ways that you can actually insert authority in your marketing tools. There are other methods, but just allow me to choose. So I will just choose a few random, anyhow press, and from there, voila. Now I look very good, right? But again, I want to look smart. When I look smart, I'll go to favorite again. There are many things you can choose to work on, but I just want to work on this thing called here. It is called news. Okay, you can add many other things, but for me, just add news, and I like to put this news. Private homes, a report done by Prognex. So it talks about the private homes, the sentiment is very current. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. It is so current, okay? So with this, you can read about the whole story, the movement of the CCR, OCR, RCR, everything is done for you. So now with all these things, what you can do, you can just save and you can send to your customer. And you can do all the editings, you can add more things. If you are more fun, you want to put example, you have a video, you want to end the video, you want to make the whole thing so complicated until people don't understand, I leave that to you. I leave that to you. But what I want to demonstrate is actually the flexibility for you to design an asset which connects with what you speak to your customer. So all these things you see right here can send straight into your where? Straight into your CRM. Okay, so that's the reason why at the first I said that, guys, you really have to work on your CRM. So once you work on your CRM, you realize everything is related. So well, there are more tools right here, but I don't think I want to touch the rest, because if not, it can be very heavy for you. So so with that, right, so that is very much of these 21 days. So in these 21 days, if you realize that I didn't touch on a few things, like I didn't say or tell things like, oh, let's focus to do something, let's focus to do a HDB or private segment, because in my opinion, that's more like of your direction, that is your business plan. But whatever I just made that for you is universal, meaning say if you acquire that skill, it applies in all other areas. Right? So let me explain to you why do I say so. So sometimes when you join the business, right, some people will say, if you join, you can start a HDB, private, or services. So what is called services? Now services is the ability where you can actually like talk to your customer. You serve the account. Like sometimes they want to buy, they want to sell, they have a portfolio of assets. They don't only own one thing. So you are more like a consultant. So these called services, or what we call asset progressor. Remember just now I showed you something about the so-called, I showed you this. Remember I showed this? This is a typical framework of asset progression. So depending on which category you fall under. So when you actually work on all these things, you realize that, hey guys, okay, you may want to start from one segment first, but I'm going to leave that to you, to your mentor. Now the next thing that you'll be asking me a lot of new agents ask me this. Now whatever I just gone through with you, whatever I went through with you just now, it is nothing close to here. But whatever you see right here are the typical questions that people will ask. Now in my opinion, these are safety questions, but it don't really help you much in the business, in my opinion. Okay, but I'll still address for them. Number one, people ask me, boss, you got prospecting or not? Y'all got do things together or not? So here's my advice. Hey, we are in our own business. So why is it that a lot of people want to do things together? Where's your ownership as a business owner to run your own business? Why is it that when you join a company, you always think about, hey, got people to do things together or not? This is a no-no mindset, ladies and gentlemen. This is a no-no mindset. You can join for happiness, but you will not sustain. You will not sustain, because the bigger the groups, the more people's problem you will face. This is my sincere advice, and this advice are for people who midlife crisis. Maybe you lost your job, you want to be real in this business. My advice to you, stay away from big groups. Really, I run a very big team, ladies and gentlemen. I run a very big team, but even for me, I told my guys, break down into small groups. This is over my 18 years of experience. For those people who really do well, stay away from big groups, coming from somebody who owns a very big group. Okay, so I think that's a very fair opinion. Now number two, you'll be asking me, Bobby, got digital marketing or not? Hey, I want to learn digital marketing. So when you talk about digital marketing, you need to realize that digital marketing, there are many ways to do it. Some people are born competent, meaning say you already know Facebook, you know pay-per-click, you already know all these things. Some people, you don't know anything at all. I see a lot of people who jump into it and want to learn digital marketing, but they don't understand their business model is not digital. Their business model is to talk to people, bring them to the show flat, calculation, accept progression, know the product, be an expert in real estate. But end up a lot of people just going into different companies. Oh, this company offered me digital marketing, but they forgot the importance of knowing the product. So I think this is something people always talk about. Number 3, paperwork. Wow, this one classic. Hey, now I want to join you. How's the paperwork? You know something? Without paperwork, I don't feel confident. I need to know all the paperwork before I can do a lot of things. So I won't deny that paperwork is actually very important, but paperwork is not the priority. The priority will be very much basing on this 21 days program I built for you. Now, because the reality is this, help me by typing this. Let's say, okay, let's visualize. Today, you tell your friend you're a property agent. Next day, they say, hey, know something? You're a property agent now. I don't mind supporting you. And they want to buy something. And the day after, they found something, the money is ready, the CPF is ready, everything is ready. Now, you only struggle with paperwork. My question, are you going to tell your friend, hey, don't buy first, Ken? I got no confidence in paperwork. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to, okay, fine, I didn't expect that so fast from you, but let me figure it out and let me come back to you immediately. Then you call your mentor, you call your managers. Oh no, I just closed something within 3 days. It's out of my expectation, but now I need to do something. Could you be there for me? Could you assist me? Could you guide me? Could you do this? Okay, now this is a typical scenario. Okay, this is a typical scenario. But as again, I have to repeat my case study. I'm not saying that people are not important, because it is legality. It is important, but it is not those of the people I met was, I need to know everything before I start, because in this business, if you're going to start in this manner, you will have a lot of problems, because you can never finish everything. So that is when the mentor have to come in to give you the assurance, to give you the confidence. Sometimes sometimes certain part of my paperwork, I actually go and meet some other leaders or some other salesperson. Okay, so I ask them, hey, it is correct? I always double check, because it is not a daily basis I close certain products. So it's important, really important for me to double and triple check myself before I present to the customer. And I'm telling you, basing at my level, that I do a lot of double check. Sometimes I like to say this, I like to tell many people this: never learn from your boss. Always learn from the source. Now you might be asking me, Bobby, why do you say that? Because I've sold international property before in another country, Malaysia, Philippines, we did some in Australia before. So we are blessed in Singapore. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of information, we have a lot of data, and we get it in Singapore. But in another country or other country, information are not widely being obtained. So what's my message right here is that we have to do a lot of our due diligence. Okay, we really do a lot of our due diligence. In Singapore, we are privileged. There are many departments you can easily, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding, easily you can actually, if you have any problems, okay, so let's say we just talk about you, if you have maybe a master plan problem, like you want to buy something you're not sure about. How come my keyboard is not working? Come, let me try again. Come, let me show you guys something fun. Okay, let's talk about this thing called, oh, quite funny to see myself on the screen. Okay, might as well put here. So let me talk about, let's say, a master plan. So if you want to sell something to a customer, you might be very concerned, you know something, what's going to happen in front? Will they get blocked? You know, things like that. So all these things can be found actually in the master plan in URA. Let me try, let me see if I can show a sample. This is the master plan in URA. So it kind of like tells a lot, you know, or which are the segments, which is like for residential, white side, which are the place of worship, which are the garden area, and the plot ratio. And a certain plot ratio, let's say you buy something of a property of 2.8 plot ratio. In front of you is 21.4. You can be certain the one in front of you can never build as tall as you. So this is the part where I see things I will share with my customer. By you buying this property at 2.8 plot ratio as stated in master plan, in front of only 1 point tall, you can be guaranteed almost unblocked view as long as you own the property. Okay, these are the things that people want to talk about. Okay, they don't want to talk about things like oh, this one very expensive, cheaper can or not. Actually, they don't want. They want intelligent agents. They want agents to be able to assess and interpret things like this. All right, so I just want to advocate a lot more on the part of to polish yourself. And in fact, Pronex, we have a lot of training regarding this. Only thing is, do you have the priority to actually work on this? Okay, sometimes people in the industry, they always resulted to this overlearn until they realize that, oh my goodness, they don't really what I call that, apply. So they always spend their time on learning, but application is the minimum. Okay, so with that, I want to share with you a story. So I promised you a story just now, right? So basically this story, this lady is called Phoebe Ang. Okay, maybe I draw. I like to draw a lot. I'm so lousy with my handwriting, but only drawing allows me to interact the best with my customer. So maybe this lady, her name is Phoebe Ang. So I have a permission. She made $1 million in 2021 last year. So when she joined, she is not reaching out to her old clients. She did not. For her, right, she only sent some message and some Facebook marketing, and she got a lead. There's one lead. One person gave her a unit to sell. So after this unit to sell, what she did was she market this unit. She market this unit in Property Guru, and from there are many people who call and inquire. She hold very tight to these people, very tight, very tight, very tight. Hold very tight to these people, and then using let me show you her slides. When I got her permission, I want you guys to feel as real as possible. Right, so with that, right, anyway, she's a $1 million producer lah, that's for last year. So with that, right, she came out with slides something like this. Very easy. It's not complicated. It is only a small fraction of what she learned from the company. So she talks about location in Douyi. It talks about the trend in Douyi. They talk about if you own a HDB for too long, what is going to happen, over time it depreciate. Alright, you talk about all this thing. Of course, a lot of involvement and engagement, and the concept of a decay of a 99-year HDB over time. We talk about the capital appreciation of the EA or EM, the big units. It doesn't really move that much. So etc. So something like this allows her to actually motivate, to give a customer the clarity that do not hold HDB which are too old. Okay, but I want to repeat this again. It works for those people who have plans to still own properties, but some of them they're holding very tight. The Chinese is called 不舍得买. If I sell, I cannot buy back again. But I see the nature of the product is in a way is depreciating on a daily basis. So because of that, right, this is something very simple that she did. Now, so with this, right, let's come back to this. So with this simple script, I want to rephrase. It's only a fraction of what she learned from the company. So from there, she applied to these people, and the chain effect took place. Now, according to Phoebe, when I speak to her, she tells me that all the customer will always stay with her because of how persistent she truly believes that what she has is the best for her customer. Okay, so what is the result? As I show you, the result got her to be the what? The millionaire in 2021. And this is Phoebe. Yeah, this is her. Ding 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 ding. How? Y'all like the story? Inspiring? How y'all find the story? So, all right. So this is the story for Phoebe, and the reason why I really want to share this story is because I really do not wish like many of our people kind of like overlearn. Overload is actually a very big problem in our industry as well. So whatever we provide you just now, you know, is like the 21 days program is definitely sufficient. In my opinion, it is sufficient enough, okay, for you to start off the business. But in between, there will be more challenges. As mentioned, there will be more variation. There will be more things you'll be learning. Okay, so just work closely with a mentor, then you should get results. So the next thing, people would definitely always ask me, Bobby, got system and technique. Now, system and techniques only apply when you know the business. Now, remember, the best system and technique is your own business and technique. But before that, you need to know the business first. Now, if not, right, what's 1 week, 1 task again? Where? Okay, never mind. I'll touch on that later. So that's the system. Then the next thing people like to ask me is usually a blueprint. Got step by step or not? Now, step by step works only when you are clear in what you want. Like example, boss or Bob, I want to do a step by step on how to do flyers. Then when I tell you the step by step, it's for you to execute to help you to reach that task. Now, many people actually ask for the step by step for the sake of asking. Now, don't fall into the trap. As long as you follow the 21 days program closely, you realize that, okay, for some reason, if your CRM connects and you know where to get the information, where to get the tools, where to find the products, and with a good mentor to support you, you are very safe. You are in safe hand. You don't need more than that, huh? Then the next thing is a script and hooks. Okay, script and hooks is got any script I write, then people will listen to you. I will say, please. Everyone, a consumer, is driven by greed, by fear, by pain and pleasure. Now, we never know the pain spot of a person or what attract people. Now, no matter what prospecting you do, remember, you only can get the first intent. It's your communication with them which allows you to be able to know the end goal. This is what I call the 3C, the connect, the convince and convert. This is a system that you may want to learn when you come on board. Now, in the company level, okay, we have many of such training, which I'll cover later. And where can you get them? I'll cover later, all right? Now, the last two things is the worst thing. I do not recommend people, but that's me, okay? So if you don't like what I say, anyway, just mute your volume for now, to ask for partnership. Now, many people come aboard because of the lack of the confidence, or some of them, they will tell me this because I don't drive, I need somebody who have a car so we can be partners. This is the no mindset. Now, why do I say so? Because you are in the business for yourself, you are self-employed, no one pays you and owe you a living. So once you come aboard, when you start to go into this, you become very dependent on people. So once you become very dependent as self-employed, it's difficult to be independent. So this is also the part during coaching when I realized a lot of them, they are not competent because they are very dependent over people with many things. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that teamwork is not required. It is required, but it should be work as if a group of business owners coming together. It must be of this mindset. If you have that, you will definitely do well. A group of business owners coming over, not a group of riders coming over. Riders means I come and what's the training, huh? Hey, what to do, huh? Hey, got partner or not? Hey, share leh. Hey, do things together leh. If this thing comes into your mind, get it clear before you join the industry. Now, why am I so firm about this? Because I do not wish to waste your time. Okay, because there is no free lunch, but it can be made easy if you are good in what you do. Okay, if you are good in what you do, all right? So these are the few things that people will be asking me, and I'll tell you how I address them. Now, the next thing you need to do is here. Remember, you need to take a lot of photos. Personal branding is very important in our business. It's very important in our business. But the problem with personal branding, before you can actually do that, remember what you need, huh? Okay, before you want to do any personal branding, remember it's not difficult if you have a designer or maybe you want to do a website. It's not difficult when you have pictures. So one of the biggest challenge with a lot of salespeople, they always complain, you know something, Bob, I don't have good branding, people doesn't know me, my social media looks boring. That's because they don't have photo. Now something like that is not difficult to do. Okay, I mean there are many ways you can do it. For those who are this Photoshop competence, is not difficult. What is difficult is, do you have things like this? Do you have things like this for you to maneuver, for you to change, for you to kind of like give a different impressions to the market? You don't have this. You don't have this. You can't do this. Okay, so that's the reason why I highly recommend for those people, please take a lot of photographs, watch a lot of videos and start reading. Now reading, if not your strength, it doesn't matter, but you need to do a little bit. So this one must. A benchmark, minimum start with 20 photos. That's the benchmark minimum. 20 photos, 30% corporate, 70% non-corporate. This is Bobby's advice. Okay, if you want to save money, you don't have the money, you're thinking how to serve buyer, no need to whatever, it's up to you. But my advice, 20 photos. With that, you have variations. There are a lot other more things you can do if you got photo. If not, it's really dull. It's really boring. Right. Now, next thing, play with your VO and your PAS. So these are the three whole areas that you should take note and work on. Now, the last part is here. It's actually the slots of training. So in week 1 to week 3, while you're going through the routines, there will be a lot of things blasting to you. Now, if you remember just now, that phone, the WhatsApp, you will receive a lot of training, and then something like this, the whole entire sorry I overrun, just bear with me for another 9 minutes. I should finish in 10 minutes. Alright, so so once you come on board, now in the company level we have a lot of training, and there are really a lot. All right, so it for new agents and also for experienced agent. Now some of you might be already from another agency that you are exploring, then I think these are the program that you need to go through. But my target group today is the new one, so I only focus on here. The rest I won't touch. Now first thing you're going to come is going to go through the pre-license. Like, you know, we have these trainers who teach us to pass the exam. It's actually a group of us. Okay, I'm not the trainer for this. So from there, if you are still going through an exam, feel free to come on board to join us for this. So that's the part 1. Now for part 2, we got this core training. So we actually cover HDB, new launch program, new launch, how you do new launch, EC, new launch, got private and EC. EC is the segment I highly recommend for those people who want to join the business, because EC is the only product you touch HDB, you touch semi-private, you play with timeline, you work with heartlanders. Now when you work with EC buyer, in my opinion, it's easier compared to a private owners. Now because the need and wants to upgrade is very clear cut and straightforward. Now you might hear people telling you it's very difficult, it's very troublesome, but let me tell you, it's part of the business. It is correct. If you master EC for 1 year, you have no issue to next time sell any HDB and sell any private. This is my sincere advice, right? So EC is the program, followed by how to get listing and sales initiation. So all these things are, how will you be receiving all this so-called information? So generally you will get it from your WhatsApp. WhatsApp is actually one of them. Now the other way you can do it is actually here. So once you go into VO, this thing called PNG courses. So in the courses, they are all right here. Okay, this is where you can get. So we actually kind of formulate it really well for you, so there's nothing to be worried. So after that, we got this thing called Sales Mastery, Marketing and Tech. Now these three is more for prospecting, especially the tech. So a group of people who are very focused in Facebook marketing, pay per click. So at a company level, they actually train you. So all these courses you see right here, okay, is they are, I think, $50 if I'm not wrong, $50, but it covers a wide spectrum with the cream of the crop of Pronex training you. So therefore, in terms of Pronex, I'm never afraid that we never have a lack, we never have not enough training. What I'm more afraid is the number of training is there, but the learners or the so-called entrepreneur is not taking ownership over themselves. This is something I'm more concerned. All right. So after that, the last part we talk about here is actually the boot camp. So what exactly is the boot camp? Now, boot camp is actually our trademark. It's a very powerful program which allows you to actually know yourself furthermore. So the boot camp, it is the highlight, and a lot of people after the boot camp, they got tremendous breakthrough in their sales. I'm talking about people who make $600,000 after boot camp, they make $2 million. So what exactly is boot camp? It's not something I can explain by words, but definitely an experience that you need to go through with all the facilitators that they will guide you through with a series of programs, and after you attend, you feel that transformation in yourself. Alright, so this is actually the roadmap for new agents. Of course, for experienced agents, there are many more which I will not cover. So if let's say you're an experienced agent and you got friends in Pronex, you might want to find out a little bit more, do not hesitate to reach out to any one of them. I'm certain that they are competent to share with you what they know about the company. All right. All right, so with that, I come to the end of the presentation. So that covers the 21 days program, and I also kind of like highlight what are the things that we have in Pronex that it will be useful for you. So maybe before I end, would there be a questions that you want me to answer? Anybody have maybe 2 questions? All right. So I'm not seeing any questions, and I can see the number of people are three guys have left. So for those people you have questions, I'll stay here for another 3 minutes to 5 minutes. For those if you have gotten all the great insight, so I thank you for your time today. I'm sorry that we were slightly late. I hope my sharing will give you a great insight, and please follow through closely of what I recommend to you. So with that, okay, you guys stay safe, good night, and bye bye. The 21 days, that one is the framework. Okay, the framework basically is for you to go back and apply yourself. So let's say if you have a manager, a mentor, all you need to do is you just go through the framework and go to the mentor, and they will actually guide you along. Yeah, so that is more like a framework. It is not like a big group, a group of people working together. Okay, it's not along that line. But that's a good suggestion. Maybe the next batch I might propose to the company that we might want to do this and form. Oh, the company have a chat group for new agents. So when they come on board, it's more like a support group. I remember, very interesting because these people are highly motivated. Okay. Anyway, I do prepare another video I did when I was in Malaysia. Okay. Anyway, I've done. But for those want to just watch a video I took in Malaysia as a trainer, so this is something you might just want to take a look.
And you will tell me, do you know this? And you will tell me, do you know this? Let me tell you why you should do this. How can I help you make money? This is how it works. When you follow me, things will change, life will change.
Hi guys, my name is Bobby. Okay, I'm from Pronex Singapore, Associate District Director. Right now, I was invited to Malaysia, Pronex Malaysia, to actually give sharing on PSP. Now, what is PSP? It's actually a startup program for those people who newly joined Pronex Malaysia. So I just completed my 4-hour session with 108 participants. I'll tell you that their energy is awesome. So when I talk to them, I can see the desire they have, that how much they want to achieve in their life, and how committed they are willing to take the right action for themselves and their loved ones. I just like to say congratulations everyone, okay, good job Pronex Malaysia, okay, I'm sure you guys will do well, right? So with that, thank you, and thank you for having me. Bye bye guys.
Pronex. Maybe because this is my first year. Plus an empty promise. I thought not much. So property agents today would not be sell. We or without you, it will sell by itself.
Hi, my name is Kaying. I'm from Pronex Malaysia, and I'm very new to this industry. Just been 3 months, but in here I really learned a lot of things, and I'm so happy to be joined of this part of big family here. First thing I learned today is have to be a very grateful person. We have to share a lot, like what Mr. Yong Hong and Mr. Bobby they have shared to us.
Good evening, my name is Lincoln. I just joined Propnex 1 month ago. So before joining Propnex, actually I found that my mindset actually not so clear. But after these courses, I feel that my mindset is actually very clear. That I know what my target is. Then also I know how to set my goal.
And what can be how to start about the whole thing, something that's so new to us in real estate. And today I get a lot of tips and hints from Mr. Yong Hong and Mr. Bobby, and I'm very happy that I have joined this family in these 3 months, and it's really a valuable PSP lesson for me.
Besides it, I also want to thank Mr. Bobby and Mr. Yong Hong for sharing us the knowledge. For example, Mr. Bobby share about like how to take a video photography, like for a short video, then what's the angle, even though we did it wrong, then we still can keep repeating and choose the correct video and present to others.
So we understand this. So in our country, everything my wife just will feel good. Because I understand my value.
Pronex Malaysia!
Alright, so when you understand your value, everything actually changed. Now this is something which I did 2 years ago in Pronex with Pronex Malaysia. I can tell you the need and wants they have is very different from locals. They are motivated, they are very hungry. So therefore, I wish for those people who come on board with us have the same energy. Okay, so with that, thank you very much. Okay, for those questions, I think all has been answered. Anthony, the website you use for personal branding, what's the website? Or you can use Canvas or Poster My Wall. There are a lot actually in the market. Okay, what kind of video tools do we need to use? You don't need, but just you find something that's you are comfortable using. Some people they outsource, some people use Canvas, some people use Poster My Wall. If you Google under photo portals or maybe artwork portals, you see a lot of them. It's just about you taking an attitude to actually to learn them. Alright, okay, so with that, have a strong mindset. I hope to see you guys in Pronex. Bye bye.